My girlfriend says she wants a toxic relationship. But I don't think she understands what a toxic relationship is. She spends all of her free time on TikTok where she sees guys acting rude and overprotective towards their girlfriends and tells me she wants me to act like that. She also wants me to act like the guy from 365 Days. I tried explaining to her that that's not what a toxic relationship is and that what happens in 365 is fiction, is not what a realistic depiction of a relationship, yet she tells me that she wants me to act like that and that it's sexy. We're both 17 and have been together for a year, and I've been trying to act the way she wants because in the beginning it was kinda fun, but now she's romanticizing these toxic relationships, and every time I try to explain to her that that's not what a toxic relationship is, she doesn't listen. How do I explain to her that that is not how a real relationship looks? Your girlfriend has fallen victim to internet culture. Do not try to give her a toxic relationship. Instead, leave her to her own devices. I would advise you to run away from her and any female like that. But hey, it's on you at the end of the day. Not too much else to say on the matter. How do I explain to her that that is not how a real relationship looks? You don't. She won't care. This is how she feels and what she thinks she wants. Nothing else is going to matter. It's temporary though. She'll stop wanting toxic, exciting bad boys when she's 33. I'd end it. You could be a dick, but there's a good chance that she'll play the victim when she sees it's no fun. She wants drama. Find someone who's on the same page as you. Are you lost, baby girl? First off, being 17, I'm sure her hormones and yours are running wild. TikTok is false reality. A real toxic relationship, like one I had last year, is not something she wants. It was terrible and unhealthy. I would dump her because she wants something that is ridiculous and stupid and won't last. Wanting you to be overly protective like an actor from a gross unrealistic movie is just fantasies in her head. Run. To clarify, don't actually do it. Not even to teach her a lesson or anything. Just don't. Don't treat her like shit. She's a person. Your relationship is a two-way thing, and if your end isn't comfortable with what her end is putting down, then either you fix it together or you move on from that relationship. Please just actually communicate with her. Tell her, assuming that this is true, that you don't want to behave like that because you care about her and you want her to be happy, and that you don't think of her as property, which makes the idea of talking down to her like that very difficult to come to terms with. If she doesn't care, she's not in the relationship for the right reasons. Figure out why you're in the relationship as well. That'll help you out a lot. WTF. She says she wants a toxic relationship. What she actually wants is kinky sex. She thinks the two are mutually inclusive because she's 17, but they're not. Ask her to look up Omegaverse fiction. If she's into it, your girl kinky. Run. Gross. Break up. If she actually means that, you need to leave her and cut all contact. Folks like that, staying in a relationship with people like that can ruin your entire life. I'm not even exaggerating, you need to get far away from her, and if any other woman acts like that in the future, get away from her also. I'm serious, stuff like that can end up ruining your life. She wants you to be more dominant with her. Dominant, submissive relationships are built in a foundation of respect and consent. The media portrays these relationships in the opposite way, and show a lot of toxicity. So when someone, like your girlfriend, wants a dominant partner, she thinks that has to come with the toxic side also. Show her that a relationship she wants can happen, if you're willing to be dominant, that is, without being abusive. Or break up. At 17 some are more mature than others. She is others and clearly very immature and in need of drama. Run and block. Answering her plays into her drama. Lol. Why do you want to be with someone who models how they should treat people and their relationships based off TikTok? Face with rolling eyes. Your girlfriend is incredibly immature, even for 17. Toxic is not a positive. Drama and control and general shittiness is not a relationship to aspire to. She is actually asking you to create conflict. I'm sorry but I think you need to break up with this girl, and don't get sucked back in. Good luck. She's 17, let her have that toxic relationship and realize how fucking awful it is. Tired of pop culture romanticizing stupid toxic crap? Break her heart, call her names, then want to get back with her. She'll soon stop. Or block her and never speak to her again. I don't know if you need to leave your girlfriend, but what she wants is a dom-sub relationship. If that is something you are interested in exploring, there is tons of resources available online, but you need to have an open conversation about it. You two are young and still exploring your sexuality. If this isn't something you want or are comfortable with, then you need to reevaluate the relationship. I mean, to be fair, the relationship in 365 Days was toxic. It's one thing to sexualize that type of toxic behavior in the bedroom if both parties are into it, but it's sounding like she wants it outside of the bedroom too. Unfortunately, I don't think you two are compatible, and if you try to behave like she wants, you could impact your ability to have healthy relationships going forward. 365 Days of Summer isn't supposed to be romantic, it's a story about how you shouldn't push your fantasies onto someone else and put them in a pedestal. It sounds like your girlfriend has an unrealistic idea of what it means for someone to care for them. That might be a lesson she has to learn, but you are young enough that it shouldn't be one she has to drag you through. Edit. Apparently Op was talking about that rapey Netflix movie where an entitled rich gangster kidnaps a woman in order to get her to have sex with him and it works, so that's even worse. Social media is the devil. Start a dating rule now: no social media addicts. A real bastard would send her to a BDSM hookup website. She'd certainly find out the definition of toxic there. But that's something to just leave in fantasy. I don't have time for these girls that don't appreciate being in a safe and healthy relationship. To me, she sounds like a sheltered and spoiled person. The only people who covet and romanticize toxic things, chronic illness, or abuse, for example, are those lucky enough to not experience true hardships. They are so comfortable and content that instead of feeling grateful and lucky, they're bored. So she wants you to be TikTok fodder so she can get karma points from strangers? Run. Don't stop. That's terrible. There are females that do get off on toxic, dominating, possessive relationships. She probably wants a bad boy type. She needs to comprehend that it's one thing to fantasize about it, but a different world living it. She's so young, so it also could be a phase. If you're not into being this type of person, GTFO ASAP. She could start doing things to bring it out of you, and before you know it, you got yourself a toxic relationship and some hits on your record. Personally, I don't think anyone should be in a relationship with someone who is trying to change them. Your girlfriend sounds naive and doesn't seem to understand that those depictions are a false representation of reality. I wouldn't bother trying to make her understand this. Instead, be yourself and find someone who appreciates you as you are. Break up with her. That's toxic enough. She also wants me to act like the guy from 365 Days. She wants you to be a sociopathic Sicilian mob boss. If you're not a sociopath, Sicilian, or a mob boss, that's an unrealistic expectation. Incoming Harley Quinn tattoos. I think you could get her to read It Ends With Us, which details real abuse in a fictional way. Even tell her it's cringe, if you have to. Does she want to have her freedom and rights taken away? Ask her if she would feel the same if all those internet guys look unattractive. She would even feel the same. Sorry you have to deal with this. LMAO, she does not want a toxic relationship, trust me. Drop her like a hot potato, my guy. Drop her like a hot potato, my guy. I have many exes that can give a toxic relationship. Which one does she want? Cheaters? The one that threatens suicide? Pedophiles? People who even controls who you see, if anyone at all? Or all the above? Fuck the romanization of toxic relationships. She might want a dominant relationship as a person, but once an actual toxic partner manifests for her, she'll be running back to guys like you. This is ridiculous and honestly disrespectful for abuse survivors. She wants drama. Yeah, it's stupid as hell to romanticize that kind of shit, and you pretty much know it. You shouldn't have to explain to a partner that's not what you should want in a relationship. It should be common sense. Ah, yes. Going people who think Harley Joker and Bella Edward are true relationship goals face with rolling eyes. She's young, so she may well grow TF up, but that doesn't mean you need to stick around for it. You could try some type of play acting, role-play stuff. She has a kink and I think she does not know how to express it. Does she want you to act like these toxic guys? She sounds immature, but she's also young. Maybe she just needs you to give her more attention, praise, etc. She may feel jealousy as a sign of love. Like you said, toxic isn't something anyone wants. Unfortunately, drama and mental illness are glorified on TV shows and in some social media circles, so they don't know what actual toxic relationships are like. They aren't romantic like she thinks. I would explain that to her and that you respect her and tell her how you like to show you love her so she can appreciate it. This could turn dangerous for you if you comply with her demands. What happens if this toxic relationship turns out to not be fun? She'll play victim and you'll be the bad guy. From your description of her, I don't really think she loves you as a person. She is in love with the idea of a relationship. She wants to mold you into her fantasy or idea of what she thinks she wants. It's not you she wants. You are her means to an end. You sound a lot more mature than her. At your age, outgrowing a relationship happens often. Don't cling to something that has no future. At least think about how this will develop in the future. Do you want to be an actor in your own life? Pretend to be someone you are not? Switch in roles at her whims with wherever TikTok goes next. You probably would like to have a partner that doesn't fall for this silly things. It kind of sounds like she wants a dom. It can be done in a non-abusive manner with lots of consent and communication in place, but it would be hard to do right at 17. Might just be easier to let her find that elsewhere, although she'll probably find someone who does abuse her. Maybe have her look into sub-dom relationships after she turns 18. 17. She is kinky and super immature. Bad combo and more than you need on your plate right now. Sounds like your girlfriend might need to learn the difference between fantasy and reality. That's not uncommon. You're both pretty young, and she is still learning this stuff. Encourage her to think about toxic behaviors as something that's fun to enjoy in media and fantasy, but not something for real life. I dated a girl like this. In hindsight, she was really dumb. She had a stupid understanding of life based on teen movies. I would break up with her to give her the drama she craves. She will probably still sleep with you just to add to her up and down TV drama idea. Here is a life lesson. When a couple gets along and works together towards common goals, life can be more rewarding. When a couple fights and argues constantly, all of that energy gets wasted on nonsense while the world passes you both by. Giving this girl what she wants puts you in which category? She wants a kinky relationship. Maybe a dom-sub thing. Talk to her about that. You just know. Explain to her what toxic is. That toxin's in something that you should avoid, because it makes you feel bad, and it destroys or even kills thing. So if she wants a toxic relationship, that means she wants to be psychologically abused to the point she ends the relationship, or herself. That is not what she wants. Jealousy comes from emotions such as insecurity, inadequacy, fear, anger, concern over lack of safety of, possessions, resentment, helplessness or disgust. Yeah, I looked it up. And if she wants you to feel that, so you can act out towards her in a disrespectful and cruel way, she is crazy. You can't explain it to her. Honestly, this request would be a deal breaker for me.